This is a very unplanned video, and I just want to talk about the stuff that you don't hear much at all when people talk about YouTube growth and really wanting to grow your channel and succeed on YouTube. And it's just how tired and borderline burnt out you are the whole time. It's not something that, to be honest, you hear a lot, because I think lots of people who share on YouTube about YouTube, like me, they tend to focus on the positive and the fact that here's how you can make it work, here's how you succeed, here's the strategy and all the tips and the advice. And the thing that I am just running into over and over again, especially now when I'm giving it a proper go, I'm really dedicating all my free time to this, is just how tired I am. It's the never-ending grind of dedicating your full focus, your full attention, and really wanting it so bad to grow your channel. And it sounds very not deep. It's just a YouTube channel, it's just silly little videos on the internet. But if you're doing the same stuff as I am, which is trying to grow a channel, or even two channels like I'm doing now, it takes literally the entire rest of your life apart from the full-time thing that you have going on, whether it's studying, whether it's working, taking care of your kids and family. And it's all consuming to the point where rest starts becoming very alien to you. I have been going through this phase recently because I decided that I'm gonna really freaking lock in, give it a proper go. And I mean like full on hustle mode, where if I have free time in my commute, I'm trying to plan YouTube videos. If I have a walk during lunch, for example, I am probably brainstorming what to record about the next time I record, and I'm making my next thumbnail. If I have a free day on the weekend, it's most likely because I need to batch record videos, and I try and do at least 3 at a time, because I'm pushing myself to do more than 1 video per week for 2 channels now. And the thing is that all of this comes from me, someone who really is a strong proponent of work-life balance. If anything, ironically, that's one of the biggest reasons why I really struggled in my Big Four consulting job. It's because that job famously is very demanding, and it kind of requires you to work longer hours than a 9 to 5 on average. And because of that, a huge part of me feels very angry and frustrated at the fact that I can't have normal work-life balance. But I'm now, building my own thing outside of my core hours, which at the moment I'm on a career break and I'm doing a university degree with it. But outside of that, I'm literally putting myself through probably 5 times the pressure that my consulting job would send me. But I do it myself, to me. It's fascinating because as much as you might be feeling like, oh my God, my employer is making me do this sort of like long hour schedule and I can't do anything about it, and you feel very helpless and kind of like you're trapped in that, no one really talks about how when you do that to yourself, the power of that is so much stronger. It's kind of like you subject yourself to the toxic productivity that you know is wrong, but because you want this thing so much, and because it is your own, and you can't really have anyone else to blame for overworking, you just do it. And I mean, I think this comes partly from my personality. I've always been very good at studying and pushing through stuff and getting things done. I always got the grades that I wanted. I ended up getting into the universities that I wanted to get into, which were my dream universities. And then ending up getting the job in consulting, which I really wanted. So all of that stuff comes from the discipline that I have. But that discipline has always meant that I've been very bad at rest, and very bad at resting guilt-free. Even if I have free time, most of the time now, for probably my whole adult life, I kind of feel like I should be doing something with it. Maybe not my whole adult life, but since my consulting job, so the past, let's say 5 years, I have been in this mindset of I can never, breathe out and relax and just say, I'm just gonna bask in the sun. That's my plan for the day. And the thing is, a part of me wonders if that is a phase that is required. And I know that it's horrible to say. It's kind of like, people come at all these YouTubers like Ali Abdal or Alex Hormozy and all the people who kind of say that, guys, I know that this sucks, but you will have to really hustle and really work over time and sacrifice other parts of your life to build a thing that is your own, to build a business, to build a profitable YouTube channel and make money online. It's not a walk in the park. It's a very long game, and very much it requires you to sacrifice work-life balance for a phase of life. And honestly, I agree. I think it's kind of one of those things in life where it's a contradiction that we just have to hold. It's the fact that, yes, I really care about well-being and work-life balance, and I really advocate for it for other people and also for myself, depending on context. But at the moment, I am willingly sacrificing it to achieve a goal that I have that's very important to me. Now, the tricky thing is that, okay, maybe you're choosing to sacrifice that. At what point do you hit this dip where, the hustling thing stops being productive for you and actually bringing more results in, when you're on the up trajectory? At what point does it start being counterproductive, where you're working so much that actually your energy and your ability to show up for the thing that you're building, your creativity start going down because you're so exhausted all the time? And I think I have had many times where I was so close to hitting that or hit that. It's a very tricky thing to navigate. I mean, if you've been there, you know just how hard it is to catch yourself and to really proactively force yourself to rest because you know that this is what you need to actually show up as your best. It's a very, very counterintuitive thing to do for people who, like me, are very used to being productive all the time and also judge their own value and self-worth based on the output, on their achievements, on what job they have, on the money they're making, on the university they can get into, and all of that stuff has always been the thing that gives me a sense of, okay, I've done well. If I'm just existing in the world as Anastasia, what am I worth? And I know this is kind of going very deep and into a whole existential conversation, but you might share the same feelings where you're so used to producing all the time that you don't actually have that feeling of internalized belief that I deserve rest just because I don't need to actually earn it. The thing that I struggle the most with is, okay, intellectually, I know that I need rest. I know that it's productive. I know that it'll make me better at the work that I do. However, in practice, when I think that, okay, I need to rest on this particular day because I have time in the schedule, and then it's the last thing on the list, it's the thing that comes after I've ticked off all the to-dos that I have that I really want to tick off because it's important, and, the list never ends, it always grows, and I feel so behind, I feel overwhelmed, there's so many things to do. When I take those off, then I would have earned myself the right to rest. Isn't that insane? And I have failed so many times to actually reach the end of that to-do list. It just never happens. And then the rest is the thing that gets crossed off just because, well, you didn't get to it in time. So you've not earned it, I guess, if you've not done enough. I really try and I really struggle with switching the narrative from I need to earn my rest to I just deserve rest because I exist, because I am human, because I just want it and need it. And I don't need to justify it with the work before or afterwards. The thing that I've experimented with once is, because I am a to-do list person, as you can tell, very type A behavior, I tried to put my rest at the top of the to-do list and say to myself that until I've ticked this off, by the virtue of resting for several hours in the morning, I cannot move on to doing other things. And for me, it's very hard to just do that without any sort of, activity or plan in mind. So for me, this was a walk in the park nearby where I live. And that is the only way that I've managed to actually do it. Otherwise, I never get to it. And I guess there isn't any solid advice in this, except I hope that if you can relate to this, just know that you're not alone. And growing a YouTube channel is an insane amount of workload. People really underestimate it until they do it, and then they realize that, okay, I understand. It actually does feel like another job, basically, except it's much more in your control. It's much more free, and it can be fun. But if you have a very set business goal in mind, an outcome goal, then it puts a lot of freaking pressure on you, and it does feel like work. If you're doing it as a creative outlet, I think that's a different story. It can actually feel like a relaxing thing to do, a very nice, fulfilling thing that you just do when you feel like it. But if you're outcome oriented in what you want to achieve with YouTube, if any part of you wants to make money with it, wants to be successful, wants to open some doors to financial freedom and time freedom for yourself, then all of that pressure starts to come in. So it is really freaking hard, and you're not alone. And if you're really struggling with balancing it all, then you're not doing anything wrong. It's just how this goes. It is just hard. So I am sending you a virtual hug through the screen. I hope that we all manage to just, I guess, prevent ourselves from getting to the edge of, hitting full on burnout and then just disintegrating and having to assemble the pieces back together. I hope that we have the bravery and, the self-compassion to stop ourselves before we cross that line and actually force ourselves to rest a bit and take a bit of time for yourself. Watch a thing that you want to watch on Netflix and go on a walk and be in the sun, even for, 30 minutes, a little something for you, just because you deserve it, just because you're worth it. But genuinely, it's needed. Otherwise, if that's the argument that's gonna get through to how you're gonna be productive if you're burnt out, you're not gonna be. So if we motivate ourselves with the toxic productivity that we've really internalized over the years of growing up and trying to be successful, if all the other arguments fail about, your self-worth and just deserving rest just because you exist, then let it be helpful to you that resting will make you produce better output, if nothing else. I hope that you manage to schedule some rest for yourself, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.